All right, we are digging into high leverage practices, chapter 16. It starts on page 215. Your first 2 weeks are going to be pretty similar. I'm going to start with asking that you do 2 separate lesson plans and you start thinking about the objective, what you need in order to do that. The reason we start with this within the first 2 weeks is because often what we're taught is that there's a ton of objectives within a lesson. That's what we see in gen ed. What we're doing in special ed as we narrow down our lesson is thinking very intentionally about our objective and what is the most important part of that for those students. And so going through those pieces in that lesson plan, Eastern and what you may need for certification is going to use a very in-depth process for lesson plans. My hope is that when you get done with this class, you're able to take that lesson plan in your head and think, what's my objective? What do I need to do for an opening? What do I need to do for a body? How do I get the kids' attention? And how do I take that on to DIR? So I'm going to say DIR because thinking about how you follow up with knowledge for students. So DIR is described on page 225. It's at the end of that second paragraph: distributive practice, interweaved practice, and retrieval practice. And so how do you start to build those things within your lesson, because you're always wanting to spiral these objectives? So start with the ELA and math objective. You're going to break those down. As we go through the class, we're going to further and further break those down. So make sure that your objectives not super huge, like teach the student how to read, right? What are the parts within that reading that that student needs to learn for that one lesson? So you're going to start there. You'll get that approved. That is going to build on to the rest of your pieces. So be thinking about that. You're also going to be connecting this to IEP goals. So the sooner you can be thinking about your students you're working with and what IEP goals are connected to that, it'll save you a little bit more work. So as always, if you have questions, holler, and enjoy the next couple weeks.